Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. First and foremost, check out my nails. I love them, they're very camp counselor vibes. I also need to make an announcement, so pause before the start of the video. Number one, subscribe, obviously, if you are not. But secondly, I'm going to be changing my upload schedule to once a week because I am so busy, guys. I'm not used to this. I spent 3 months pretty much not working. I was working, but like I worked from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. It was just in the morning and I didn't have anything to do for the rest of the day. So I had a lot of time to ponder my thoughts and think about things. But now that I'm working full time, it's taking it out of me. And when I get home from work, I go to the gym and then go to sleep. That's about it. And I don't have time to like be pondering thoughts all day, which kind of stinks, but is also a blessing because I feel blessed to be working and like a little bit more busy with my life. So I am changing my schedule of posting to once a week. But today I want to talk about knowing yourself and how important it is to know yourself so you can surround yourself with the right people and the right blessings can come into your life when you know yourself. I've spent so much time alone, as you guys know, because I talk about it all the time on this channel. I love to be alone. I really, really value my alone time to a very, very high degree. I also love to be around people, but I feel very drained when I am around people sometimes. And I feel like there's a certain point where my cup gets filled and then people start drinking out of it and I have no more of myself left to give in social situations. And being alone helps me recharge and like chill for a sec. But if you are spending time alone that is not productive, I don't think that alone time is necessarily always positive. And I want to talk about ways that I've worked to make my alone time productive and beneficial to myself, and hopefully maybe give you some ideas on like when you're in your alone time. Obviously relaxing is awesome and we love to relax, but we've also propagandized relaxing to be scrolling on your phone on TikTok all day, and that's not always productive. And honestly, I feel like can be a lot more anxiety inducing than we are willing to admit. And you're watching this video right now, so hopefully this is a productive moment of being alone where you're interested in knowing about yourself more. One thing that I have been spending a lot more time doing in the past year alone is reading. Being able to understand what kind of literature you like and things you find enjoyable without your phone is really, really, really important to knowing yourself. I think when we know what things entertain us that aren't being force-fed down our throats through social media is so cool, to being able to connect with people on such a like deep level and being able to make friends with things you actually enjoy rather than just things that are relatable. Because at the root of relatability is misery. I hate to say that, which is kind of awful because I know I'm on social media, but someone said that to me one time and it's really, really, really stuck with me. And I really thought about that for a long time of like half the content I post, the root base of it is misery and like an issue I've had to solve. And it's a relatable issue, so people relate to it. And I think that relatability and connection are two very separate things. It's almost like a Venn diagram, but they are two separate things with some things that overlap. And when you are only meeting people based off of relatability, I don't think it's always going to send you down the path that is most aligning with your own life. And I think aligning with yourself and your actions and the way you live is going to lead you to the most like blessings in this world and allow you to have the most success, whatever your version of success is. And so finding things that you like without being influenced by the internet is so positive. And I know that I'm trying to influence you right now, but I hope that this influence is being a little bit more positive than me just trying to influence you into buying something. So practice reading, get into some reading, spend that alone time journaling. Like, you're allowed to journal about just your day. You don't have to get into super deep stuff about what's going on in your mind, but just like understanding how you kind of view your day, I think is also a really, really important part of knowing yourself. And like I said, connection through things you like is very obviously being relatable in that connection. That's the Venn diagram part of it. Yes, relatability is part of connection, but I think connection is stuff that having a true connection with someone over a certain topic is more of like this is a really important thing in my life and also in your life, and let's share why it's important with each other instead of let's share our trauma together and trauma dump on each other. I really try to stop trauma dumping on people also in my adult life. This past year, I've gotten a lot better about like making sure my relationships with my friends especially are not trauma dumping and trauma bonded relationships. I am friends with the people I'm friends with because they add value to my life, because we are connected through hobbies. We're connected through our spirituality. We're connected through sports or hobbies. So hobbies, I guess. Or we're connected through like our lifestyles and the things that we do on the day-to-day that kind of just align with each other. And when you take time alone, that alone time is not meant to be spent dwelling in your loneliness, but learning to better understand yourself. So if it's reading, I really, really love art, as you guys know. On my wall, I've done most of this art back here. I love to do bad art. I don't think there's any such thing as bad art, but I am saying bad art because some people, that's the excuse I feel like when people are like, I don't like to do arts and crafts because I'm bad at it. How on earth can you be bad at something that's supposed to be creative? You can't. That's impossible. It's impossible to be bad at something that is in the creative world. Obviously, there's going to be room for improvement, but that's why we practice all the time. Like, you have to be a beginner at stuff in order to get better. This is kind of flowing off topic, but art, I think, is an awesome way to learn about yourself, and especially in private, because like you're not going to be judged by anyone, and the only person that is possibly going to be judging you is yourself. And if you are judging yourself, dig into that. Be vulnerable with yourself. Being vulnerable with yourself is like one of the hardest parts about being alone. And I think that that's why we like to distract ourselves so much, is because being vulnerable is really scary and very hard. And I've had a journey of learning how to say the worst parts of myself to myself. Like my worst habits I have, the things that I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that I do, writing those down and like speaking them to myself in the mirror and saying, I have a problem with blank. I do this and I don't like it. It's very hard, but when you know these things about yourself, you can stop yourself in the act of doing it. And so separating like loneliness with solitude and understanding the difference and understanding that your alone time is not only supposed to be relaxing, but it can also be productive, and that relaxation almost all the time should be productive. I don't think that scrolling on our phones every single day, and this is coming from someone whose screen time was literally 9.5 fucking hours, sometimes more, like 11, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. I was a phone addict and still kind of am, and it's gotten better, don't get me wrong, but I was on my phone all day, every day, and I can promise you that that was not me learning about myself. That was distracting myself from being alone. And we love to fill our world with distractions. We hate being bored. We hate, like, not we hate, but a lot of people dislike alone time. They like to be entertained most of the time. And I can't blame you. We're built into a world where distraction is the number one thing that people profit off of, so they make distraction look very, very, very fun. But if you can pull yourself out of that and learn to just sit with yourself and think about your thoughts, or journal about your thoughts, or read about something you find interesting, you will eventually get to know yourself and become in better alignment with yourself, and you will meet better people in your world, in your life. And I'm so thankful for the people that I've met recently, because they are so much like me and so in alignment with themselves, and they know themselves so well that it is not a, what's the word I'm not looking for? It's not necessarily like someone drinking out of my cup when I'm hanging out with them. It's more than like we're filling each other's up as we take from each other. You know, like it's an equal split, equal trade of time and energy, and I never feel drained after being with them. But I still love my alone time, because again, I can sip from my own cup and refill it as much as I want. And if I'm tired and drained from the day, I know I'm using a lot of cup references and metaphors here, But like being alone when I've had a long day is really important to me now, and not just like distracting myself from my day. It's like sitting with my anger from the day, my frustrations from the day, my happiness from the day, and reflecting on it and being like, what do I want to do different tomorrow that will change maybe my attitude or whatever it may be. And I know I'm getting a little distracted here with my conversation, and this is just a free-flowing episode of my thoughts, honestly, because I have not had a lot of time to ponder. I'm kind of running low on video ideas, y'all. Like, I feel like I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about, and I've been seeing someone, y'all, that I told you about last week. He's really, really awesome, but he's a lot more intelligent than me. Not in like he's trying to make himself more intelligent than me. He just straight up is more intelligent than me. And sometimes when I'm talking to him about stuff, I feel like a fraud with the things I talk about, because he's like, oh yeah, this is from this article and this article and this article, which is awesome and great. I'm learning so much. Don't get me wrong. But when I've had more alone time to ponder about my own thoughts, it makes me think of a lot more video ideas. And because I haven't had a lot of alone time over the past week, I've not had a lot of time to like be pondering my own thoughts. And sometimes when I have a video idea and I talk to him about it, or I talk to my friends about it, I'll be like, maybe I don't know as much as I think I do on this, and I need to sit on it longer, or I need to research it more and think about it more before I post a video on it. And so that's kind of like where my head's been at with my YouTube. Again, off track. What can I say? Free-flowing episode of just thoughts. But yeah, knowing yourself will never be a disservice to like anyone. If you don't know yourself, you are going to not damage more people, but like I think that there's an aspect of not knowing yourself that it is a disservice to other people. Because when you're not living in alignment and you're kind of just living your life free, willy-nilly, just doing everything that feels good to you and nothing that feels hard to you ever, we are the 5 people we hang around the most. And if you're not making good decisions in your life, that will reflect on your friends. Not saying it's a reflection of your friends, but it will reflect onto their lives too, and have an impact on their lives as well. So be better for yourself. Like we said, let's say it together. Be better for yourself so you can be better for the people around you. And it's a chain reaction. I so believe that when we are good to ourselves, we are better to others. When we are better to others, they are better to other people, or better to themselves, and so on. And that's how we make the world a better place. That's how we make our communities a better place. I've been really thinking about community recently, and like my spot in my community, and like what my role is in community. And community is just so important. This is the part I love about getting older and like experiencing things that like adults experience, I guess. Like I like being an adult a lot more than I liked being a kid. I love being a kid, don't get me wrong. And I love like the freedom people have or children have. I love it. But when you get to be an adult and learn that you do have purpose in this world, it makes you so much more motivated to like be better for yourself. And I think the more that you can pour into yourself, the better you'll be for this world. And it's never going to be a disservice to you to know yourself. So get uncomfortable, learn about yourself. If you don't know what your purpose in this world is, that's okay. That's fine. That's awesome. That means you can do anything. You can have any purpose. And if we really dive into it, you'll learn your purpose on the way. And maybe your purpose is something totally different than you thought your purpose was going to be. But you'll only find that out by being present and in the moment and knowing yourself when you go out into the world. So if there's one thing I can leave you with today, that is the better you are for yourself, the better you will be for this world. And the better you can be for this world, the more the world will be better. That's pretty much it. But yeah, approach everything with love. That's the one lesson I've really learned this week, is like approach everything with love, no matter how hard it is. Never with like frustration or anger. Even when you are frustrated or angry, you can still approach things with love and approach it with love. That's pretty much all I have to say today. I love you all so much. Again, if you have any video ideas or if you made it to the end of the video, leave a cat in the comments. Any cat emoji you want, but leave a cat emoji in the comments. I would love to know who made it all the way through. You're a real one. And if you have any videos you want me to talk about, just let me know. All right. Peace, love, and happiness as always. Bye.